Legend of Korra, Season 3, Episode 2, Holy Santa Claus Sheet. Holy Santa Claus Sheet. Holy Santa Claus Sheet. I was like, what the fuck? Lord Zuko finally making an appearance? I think what is this first time we've actually gotten the real Lord Zuko's appearance in this series, Legend of Korra series, since he's, Old Man Zuko. Wow. First of all, a couple things about the first episode I forgot to mention. Really like the Asami and Korra connection. Really enjoying that. If you can hear my voice, I'm not on the mic like I normally am. This is on an iPad, so I'll try to master this as best I can. But we're also going to keep it kind of short because we're not on our normal studio station. But yeah, so the first thing I wanted to talk about was the relatable characters that are just apparent from every single section of the board, of the family to the friends to the protagonist, the antagonist. There's got to be someone you relate with on this show, which is pretty surprising for how fleshed out the characters are. If you were a young boy watching it, you would probably relate to one of the brothers. If you're a young girl, you might relate to Korra. I don't know. If you're an older guy, you might relate to Tenzin. If you're the crazy uncle watching it, then you might be Boomy. There's just so many of these rich characters that I'm really. I'm really impressed by because they feel like such lively characters. So what I was not expecting, but was kind of teased in the first episode was one. It was harmonic convergence. I believe that changed all of their abilities to airbend. It wasn't just opening the spirit world, and the first guy that had his airbending abilities shown to us that was not Boomy at that store in the last episode. He was not exactly wanting to be an airbender, and it wasn't something that I was really thinking about originally coming off of the first episode. I remember it was kind of like lightly touched on. If I had random superpowers just given to me, I think the average Joe would be like, this is pretty badass. But what comes with it is the responsibility with like what Tenzin's saying. And so this whole episode is them trying to, find the different airbenders that have been created throughout the the course of the world or something like that through harmonic convergence. The thing is, what they're finding is people don't really want to just drop what they're doing and leave their home and go be an air nomad just like Aang was and Tenzin is and all that type of stuff. It's actually going to be a little bit difficult finding some of these airbenders and finding the people that actually want to go live in this like nomadic society. And so it's just it's another rock thrown into the or a wrench thrown into the gears of what's going on, which I do enjoy from the plot perspective. Like it's not convoluted, but it's very complex for kids television show, which I for some reason continuously will bring up. But because it is such a high, or I guess it's considered a low concept with so much of a grand storyline that there is just like tons of things going on from a political fashion, from like Korra being, I don't think she was banished, but she was just told to leave Republic City in the last episode from a political spectrum. Yet there's just a lot going on. I do miss Lim Bei Fong, I believe, and her metal bending abilities and stuff like that. That was always very cool. Oh God, do you hear that? The damn air conditioning is about to blow me away in this place. I don't know why there's air conditioning on in the mountains, but whatever. All right, so we'll have to kind of wrap this one up a little bit sooner than later, I think. But anyways, this episode I really enjoyed. uh, the dynamics. I love having the team back together. I felt like the team wasn't really together in season 2. Korra's really doing her own thing. Tenzin's doing her own thing, doing his own thing with his family. I really enjoy having all of the characters back together. And like I said at the beginning, the Korra and Asami relationship has been so strong through this season. And last episode they had that they talked while they're trying to teach Korra how to drive, and it was even though as an older male, I still find their relationship very strong from a female dynamic and very mature. Like, my lord, I feel like most of these television shows would take advantage of saying, they would just be mad at each other for several episodes and just not talk about it. But these characters communicate like real people, and they're not. It feels very natural. I absolutely find that a breath of fresh air when it comes down to it. So, yeah, the selling of trying to be an air nomad is not exactly sexy. You get a flying bison as a best friend. You get to shave your head. You get tattoos all over your body once you become a master. It's like it's like nobody wants to just drop what they're doing to become this. And it is interesting that they're trying to like force upon a life that Aang originally had, but Aang was always traveling. Like he never really settled down in like a city or anything like that, to my knowledge. I guess he had the air temples, but I mean he's constantly traveling. So I just definitely it was an entertaining episode as always. I think what is driving this season a lot stronger than season 2 is definitely having the core group together. They're all able to bounce off each other from a story narrative. And Korra can talk to Tenzin. I felt like there's this connection in season 2, the more I think about it, that she does not have with her father nor her uncle in all of season 2, of like not a father figure, but like a figure to look up to, someone to bounce, like a master, to bounce ideas off of and understand the spirit world and the elements and stuff like that. I felt like she was kind of on her own majority of season 2, kind of trying to weave her way through, and there wasn't really a consistent through line is what I guess I'm getting at. So with season 2, what I'm liking is obviously the visuals, whether it's the steampunk elements, what Asami brings, and all of her new technology, like this new airboat or whatever. I said airboat. It's like a hot air balloon steampunk version or something like that. It's really dope looking. I gotta say, they always come up with some crazy looking shit for Asami. I wonder if Varric's ever gonna come back to the picture. I wonder if he's gonna just like continuously be out running around. And these vines, I was like, oh shit, the vines. The I guess the vines are just unimportant right now. I don't know. I don't really know what to think about the spirit world and the vines versus them running around trying to find the spirit. The air nomads. It feels like they kind of dropped the vines a little bit from the story. Like, I mean, I don't even think they're talked about in this, if I remember correctly. But we also pick up this new kid. I think his name's Kai, and Kai makes up this entire story. Kai apparently was orphaned or something like that, and he lies about being chased by outlaws, and so he wants to join the team, but it turns out he's the outlaw, and the sheriffs and everybody are trying to get him, and it turns out he was the thief. And he very much resembles like a young Aang, and apparently he has airbending abilities as well. So he's joining the team. He's clearly got some sort of connection with Jinora. Mako's definitely not having it. Bolin's loving being an older brother. Korra is doing pretty good at, they have a little connection with Asami. when they're doing the airbending abilities, demonstrating it, kind of laughing at Mako a little bit. Um, Definitely enjoyed that. And I kind of wish Tenzin would talk to Boomy a little bit more. Boomy seems to be such a bright spot, and Tenzin is always trying to focus so hard on things, and I feel like they're kind of ignoring Boomy in the background. So I just want to keep him on the back burner because he's clearly gotten a lot more screen time in the last few episodes. Now that I think about it, I mean, what was his Bumju something? His rabbit was how they opened up the season. I mean, that was one of the funniest short little gags they had, visual gags, I guess, of season 2, and they did carry it over. So I do want Tenzin to kind of focus a little bit more on his immediate family a little bit, because I feel like sometimes he's so focused on trying to do the right thing that he's not thinking about Boomy, who's clearly got this new power, who's probably a lot more powerful than would have expected. I honestly thought Boomy was going to be a earthbender, or I thought he was going to be able to move rocks and stuff. He just looks like that kind of guy. But anyways, thank you for listening, watching Look It All Podcast. Check out Look It All Podcast, SoundCloud, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, all the good stuff. Let me know how we can improve Season 3, Episode 2 to a close. Comments, questions, concerns, Look It Out Podcast, and you know what to do. Appa, yip yip.